Welcome back, children. Today we are continuing the chapter molecular basis of inheritance. Now we are going to study about the structural gene. Structural gene. In the newly formed mRNA, you can see newly formed mRNA, which we call hnRNA. hnRNA. The newly formed mRNA is immature mRNA. Immature mRNA. That immature mRNA is called heteronuclear RNA. So what is heteronuclear RNA? Heteronuclear RNA or hnRNA is the immature RNA, immature mRNA. It has to undergo certain modifications and become mature mRNA. Then only it can perform translation. So in hnRNA, we can see a series of genes. hnRNA or mRNA that is formed in the 5'3' direction. This hnRNA has some genes. These genes are called the structural gene. Sequence of genes are called the structural genes. Okay. Now the structural genes, you can understand cistron. Structural genes are in the arrangement of cistron. So, what is a cistron? Cistron is a segment of the structural gene which can produce a polypeptide chain, a polypeptide or protein chain. What is about this is this much, you can say cistron. So a cistron is a part of the structural gene which can translate into a particular protein molecule or polypeptide chain. Okay? In prokaryotes you can see large number of cistrons like this. Cistrons you can see in many numbers. This is another cistron, this is another cistron. Such a structural gene with many cistrons is called a polycistronic structural gene. Polycistronic structural gene. So what is polycistronic structural gene? What is polycistronic structural gene? In the case of prokaryotes, the structural genes contain or consist of many cistrons. Each cistron can translate into a particular protein or polypeptide chain. So in prokaryotes, the structural gene consists of many cistrons. We call polycistronic structural gene. You got it? Whereas in eukaryotes, one difference is there. Eukaryotes like humans, a structural gene has only one cistron. Only one cistron. In eukaryotes, there is only one cistron. That is called a monocistronic structural gene. What is monocistronic structural gene? What is monocistronic? In eukaryotes, the structural gene has only one cistron. We call it monocistronic structural gene. It means that in eukaryotes, the structural gene, it has only one cistron, can translate only one polypeptide chain or a protein chain. That is called a monocistronic structural gene in eukaryotes. Yes. So this is the difference between the structural gene in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So once again, in prokaryotes, the structural gene consists of many cistron or more than one cistron. It is called a polycistronic structural gene. Whereas in eukaryotes, the cistron is only one. That is called the monocistronic structural gene. gene. Okay. Now, what is a cistron? Cistron is a segment of the structural gene which can translate into a single polypeptide chain or a protein chain. So, if 5 cistrons are there in prokaryotes, 5 polynucleotide strands or proteins transporting chain can be produced. That is the difference between. So you have studied monocistronic structural gene and polycistronic structural gene and cistron. Okay, right. Now the hnRNA after transcription, what is formed? Immature mRNA will be formed. Immature mRNA. Immature mRNA. This immature mRNA is called hnRNA. Immature mRNA is called hnRNA. That is called heteronuclear RNA. You got it? Heteronuclear RNA. Anyway, this is the heteronuclear RNA which is in the 5' 3' polarity. Always. This hnRNA, now we have to make the hnRNA to mature mRNA. hnRNA we have to make a hnRNA, we have to make a mature mRNA. How to make a hnRNA into mature mRNA? 3 steps are there. That is splicing. Second one is capping and tailing. Okay. So hnRNA undergoes splicing, capping and tailing and become mature mRNA. Now even in this hnRNA, the coding and introns now consist of, introns are there, many introns are there. Here is one intron, another intron, another intron. I am telling about the prokaryotes, not the eukaryotes. Okay. So in prokaryotes, many introns are there. This is one intron, second intron, third intron, fourth intron. This is intron, intron, intron. Each intron contains coding sequence and a non-coding sequence. Coding sequence means that can code for amino acids, which is called exons. And what is this? This non-coding sequence is called intron. We can say here intron. So these are called all these 1, 2, 3, 4 cistron. Okay, cistron. Each cistron consists of exon coding sequence which can code for amino acid, which contain amino acid coding. And with this exon also containing, between the exon there are non-coding areas which are called intron. So exon and introns are there even in the cistron. The exon which can code for amino acid, intron cannot code for any amino acid. This is very important, and this type of RNA is called split gene structural gene. Split gene arrangement. What is split gene? Presence of exon and intron. Exons only code for amino acid and introns do not code for amino acid. Each cistron now contain exon, which is a coding part of amino acids, and introns are non-coding part of the amino acids part. And the presence of exon and intron in the cistron is condition called split gene condition. So hnRNA or mRNA is in the split gene. Now whatever it is, we have to make this split gene or immature mRNA into mature mRNA by three processes. What is splicing? We will remove this intron. We will remove the intron and join the exon. By removing the introns and joining the exon, we will make a continuous gene. Not the split gene we will remove now. Split gene is disappeared. Now the exons are removed and introns are removed and exons are joined and form what we call cistron now. So splicing is the process of removal of introns and connecting the exons. So this process of joining the exons is called splicing. Okay. Now capping. Capping is the process. In the 5' end, we will attach one methyl guanosine phosphate, one additional stretch, methyl guanosine triphosphate. Methyl guanosine triphosphate will be added in this 5' end, that is called capping. This is the tail region, 3' end, where some adenylate residues, adenine residues are connected. In the 3' region, some adenylate residues are connected, which is called tailing. After splicing, capping and tailing, this become mature mRNA. So how to make a immature hnRNA into mature RNA? Immature hnRNA to make into mature mRNA, there are three steps: splicing, capping and tailing. What is splicing? Splicing is the process whereby the split gene arrangement of the structural gene is removed. In this process, introns are removed and exons are united. This is called splicing. In capping, at 5' end of the hnRNA, we will link some methyl guanosine phosphate group, additional stretch, methyl guanosine triphosphate. And in the 3' end, that is called the tail region, we will link other stretch of DNA, that is called adenylate residues or adenine residues of 200 to 300 nitrogen bases. So by changing hnRNA to mature mRNA, we have to do three processes: splicing, capping and tailing. That's all.